Almost 30,000 ethnic Armenians have fled Nagorno Karabakh. That's about a quarter of the population of the enclave, which Azerbaijan seized last week. Azerbaijan says residents in the area will be safe, but Armenia's prime minister says that ethnic cleansing is taking place. Let's get more on this from our correspondent Olga Ivshina now. Olga, can you tell us more about the people who are trying to leave the enclave? There's one very long, narrow road, I understand. What challenges might those people face in trying to get across the border into Armenia?
Well, first of all, we need to remember that total majority of these people are exhausted both mentally and physically, because 9 months before, for the past 9 months, they were living in a de facto blockade. As you rightly said, the Nagorno Karabakh region was connected to Armenia with one narrow road. From the international point of view, Karabakh is a territory of Azerbaijan. This was contested by Karabakh Armenians for the past 30 years at least. But yeah, for the past 9 months, the road was controlled by the Azeri forces. So people in Stepanakert and other cities and towns were getting really scarce food supply, medicine supplies. And since the start of the recent hostilities, since the start of the Azeris' flashlight offensive, the situation even worsened because more people were injured. Yes, Azerbaijan has provided security guarantees for all civilians staying in Nagorno-Karabakh, but this is a very painful and bloody conflict which have been going on for 3 decades, and of course there is a serious lack of mutual trust. That's why Karabakh Armenians, most of them, have chosen to leave, and Azerbaijan has opened the checkpoint, so we now see the steady stream of cars and buses, and the traffic jam is so big that it can even be seen from the space. People here in Azerbaijan's capital, Baku, say that in 1992 they have faced similar troubles when Azeri population had to flee Karabakh during the First Karabakh War.
You mentioned the security guarantees that are apparently in place in the region. However, we've heard reports from Armenia's prime minister that ethnic cleansing is apparently already taking place. Have you heard any more to support this idea?
Well, I think we have to be very careful with the wording here, but yes, I'm in constant contact with the people who are currently still trapped in the Stepanakert. That's the town in Nagorno-Karabakh, which Karabakh Armenians consider their capital. Some of them say that they have witnessed people being killed. It's still a lot of confusion, a lot of panic, and people there, they didn't have electricity for many days. The cell phone communication is still not stable, so only some messages are getting through. Azerbaijan side denies that they were deliberately targeting civilian population, but yeah, as I was said, both sides have been accusing each other of war crimes for the past 30 years.
And Olga, what role is Russia playing in this region at the moment?
Russian peacekeepers are present on the ground. They are currently acting as mediators. They are present in Stepanakert, assisting Karabakh Armenians' population on the ground. They're also communicating with the Azeri side. And also they were actively involved in the recent evacuation attempt. Just 2 days ago, there was a huge explosion at the gas station at Stepanakert, and over 200 people were injured, 68 people are confirmed dead. And because of the blockade, because of the scarce medicine supplies, some of them were evacuated. And the Azeri military was facilitating. They allowed the airlift to the Armenian territory with the Armenian and Russian peacekeeping helicopters. But of course, the involvement of Russia has significantly declined since the start of Russia's invasion into Ukraine.
Olga, I understand you've been speaking to Azerbaijan's special envoy to the president. Can you give us a little bit about that interview?
Yes, we have spoken, and one of the most important questions I asked him was whether these checkpoints, which allow Karabakh Armenians to enter Armenia, and they are controlled by the Azeri side, whether these checkpoints would be open, will still be open, and he confirmed that. And I also asked about casualties, because today Azerbaijan has released that they have lost 192 military service personnel. Armenian side has confirmed at least 200 people killed, so it's a sufficient loss of life on both sides. And I asked Special Envoy what he thinks about that.
We tried to make our best in order not to have any collateral civilian damages during this operation, which actually lasted like a lightning. It was less than 1 day, and it was a very, it was like a surgeon precision type of action, which addressed or tried to neutralize the legitimate military targets, that is the outposts of Armenian armed forces inside the Karabakh region of Azerbaijan, and the speed with which it was achieved, and also the number of casualties among the civilian residents in Karabakh, which we of course regret, but the numbers are dismal if you compare this to any similar other situations. So that shows that it was our intention to have this action last as shortly as possible, and then of course by doing so to convince the other side that there is no way that this continued illegal presence and these fake state structures could continue to exist in the sovereign Azerbaijani territory.
Olga, really good to have you on the story for us. Thank you very much. Olga Ivshina speaking to us from Azerbaijan's capital, Baku.